we just want to share with you briefly some exciting news from the Army of Truth. Just today, it's been made officially that we have the newest member of the Army of Truth with Brother Jerry Lewin. And so just want Jerry to share just some thoughts with you to encourage you, to give you an idea of what his thoughts are, how he will be able to contribute to the Army, and some of the type of things that we may be able to look forward to. Jerry, you yourself are leading out in what ministry?
Yes, we're here. We have actually two ministries. We have Echo Valley, which is our American arm. This is in Clifton, Tennessee, where Echo stands for Evangelism, Campground, Horticulture, and Outpost. So this ministry is kind of robust. It deals with both training for evangelism and hosting evangelism, but we also want to do education for farming, for industrial work like building and carpentry, and then we also just want to teach people how to move out to the country, how to get prepared for the times that we're living in. And so that is in America. Then in South America, in Brazil, we have Restaura, which is a ministry mostly focused on just healing. We have about 10 bedrooms, and we have a clinic, and so people can come and stay. We have a wonderful worker named Estella, who is pretty much, she was a nurse by training, but then left that field to study natural medicine. So she's like a naturopath, and so she's running the clinic and taking care of people, driving into the community and doing stuff down there. So yeah, we have in America, Echo Valley. In Brazil, we have Restaura.
But again, Jerry, I'll let you share just a little bit about some of the things that you foresee with your working with the Army of Truth.
Yeah, one thing that I'm really passionate about, and a few of my brothers that are in the Army are also passionate about, is the colporteur work, or the canvassing work, and specifically talking about MAGA books. Because MAGA books have some really nice power to it, in the sense of it's very cost effective to print the books or to purchase the books. Those hardbacks can be kind of pricey, but the MAGA books are thin covers, and they also look very nice. They have that waxy coat, and so it's very nice for evangelism because the books are appealing and they're packed with truth. Myself, I was actually I headed the canvassing program at Southern Adventist University.
Right.
While I was going there, and it was only my second year of canvassing ever. Yeah.
Really?
My first year of canvassing, I got trained out in California, Central California Conference, by Bill Crick and his team of leaders who are Souls West and Souls West graduates, Joel Moutre, and then the second year I worked for Renita Samuel, who is in the Georgia Cumberland Conference. My first time ever doing it, I started out, I literally didn't sell a book for a week or more. I couldn't sell a book. I could talk and I could get Bible studies, but I couldn't bring someone to make a decision to buy a book. And I ended that summer with $8,000, which split is 4 for me and 4 for them. Well, the second summer that I went, I did it in Georgia, and Georgia and a little bit of Tennessee. I ended that summer with $10,000. So that was 5 for me and 5 for them. And, they were just very impressed with the numbers that I was able to bring, with the attitude and the spirit I had, because I always found that when I'm in a canvassing program, it was a no-nonsense type deal for me. What anyone else wanted to do is on them, but for me, I knew that in order for me to have to have good numbers and to do a good work, I needed to be like solely for the Lord.
Right.
And so I would wake up super early, have my morning devotional, or I would cook the food, because I usually cooked food for a group.
Right.
Everyone would chip in and pay me $10.
Okay.
So I get $50-$70 each week, and I cook all the meals for everybody, and then what's left over is for me. And
so in other words, young brothers and sisters, devotion
Yeah.
You have to be devoted to
Yeah,
this.
yeah.
Sold out to Christ.
That's
for
right.
this.
I mean, getting up at 4 or 5 a.m. and getting ready, prepared to go out into the field. Because
Right.
into the field was the real battle,
Yes.
which starts when you put your boots on.
Mhm.
So, yeah, I would get up early and do all that work. And so, after that, then they were really impressed with me. So they said they wanted to hire me on and to lead out one of their industries. And the industry that I was given was Southern Adventist University,
Okay.
which had its challenges. I'm not going to lie. It was to try to get college kids to go sell books
Right.
is not the easiest task. But the Lord was really good. I actually had families that I had non-college people coming into my program.
Mm.
I had a beautiful Asian, I think they were a Korean family, and they would bring their teenage son with them, and so there was 2 moms and a teenage son, and then I have some college kids that would come out, and so God provided, and it was really wonderful experience, and I got a lot of experience, not just canvassing and training, but how to pick your territory, how to look at the map and decide what's the most strategic way to hit every one of these doors. Right? How to order the books and how to keep on top of their book count, because you don't want your to run out of books for the canvassers to sell. And so I got a lot of firsthand experience in what it's like to run these programs. And so that's something I really would love to do with the AOT, or the Army of Truth, is I think we could do our own canvassing program, or canvassing programs. It doesn't just have to be one.
Right.
We
Yes.
can, if we get a formula that works, we can just plug and play.
Exactly.
And so
Yeah, that sounds so promising.
mhm.
And I think that we definitely have to be praying that God would lead us, give us wisdom as to what steps we can take to incorporate this into our mission.
And the biggest thing is that what is our motive? Because God is behind it.
Right.
If it's not like, oh, we're just doing this to earn money, or we're just doing this to do, to feel good about ourselves. We're doing this to usher in the second coming.
That's right.
We're doing this to warn people. And when the canvassers are really sold out, like if you have sold out canvassers, oh man, that is a beautiful thing.
Right.
There's other things that I've acquired over the years too. Like I've when I was a young teenager, I really liked graphic design. And so I've got, quite a bit of experience with Photoshop and things like that. And so I like to tinker around with graphic work. I haven't learned video editing yet. I know that it's a necessity these days. And that's one thing that is on my list to learn. But when it comes to boots on training, oh, and before I was a canvasser, I was a Bible worker. So I did Bible work. I graduated with a Bible worker certificate from the SALT program, Southern Soul Winning and Leadership Training at Southern. That was how I went back to the school to be the leaders, because I was going to school there for that.
Yeah.
But yeah, and in Bible working, you still learn those same types of things about how to read a map, how to mark the map, how to pick your territory, what are the best times of day to go into what territory. You don't go into rich neighborhoods at 3 or even 2 o'clock in the evening, because they're all at work.
Yeah.
Rich people usually, especially in these housing developments, they don't get home till 5:30 or 6.
Right.
Maybe even 7 sometimes, depending on what they do.
Yeah.
So what territory is better to go in the morning versus the evening, and how to conduct yourself, because you can't just go to one of these big wealthy homes and start talking slow.
Right.
Hey,
Right.
how you? Their time is their money.
Exactly.
So you have to know how to conduct yourself. And so yeah, I really feel like I have been blessed by the Lord to get some of this, and I don't feel like it's right to hold it back,
Right.
or to sell it. It's things that people need to know. People need to know how to be more effective.
Yes. Yes.
So.
Well, I know. Like I said, I'm looking forward to what God has in store, and it's very promising, very hopeful, and very solemn, very serious. And I want to just share a verse. I'm gonna have to commit this one to memory, because it's the keynote verse for Army of Truth. I can quote part of it, but I'll read it because I don't want to butcher it. But it's in Ezekiel 37:10. And it's just an encouragement to keep reading this and remind ourselves of what God is doing, raising up an army of workers for Him. So Ezekiel 37:10 says, "So I prophesied as He commanded me, and the breath came into them, and they lived and stood up upon their feet, an exceeding great army." And that exceeding great army is on the rise.
Amen.
By the grace of God, He's going to have a generation who will go forth, who are solely in love with Him, have a burden for souls, and are about their Father's business. And that's what we want, and that's what we want for you as well. And we pray and hope that that is the case, that you want to be about your Father's business, especially at such a time as this.
Right.
So continue to tune in, to listen in to what's happening with AOT. Again, if you have any questions, any thoughts, if you yourself are interested in learning more about the Army, contact us. Let us know, and we'll reach out to us, and we'll reach out to you, and we'll dialogue. So there's much work to be done,
Amen.
and we'll move forward by God's grace.
Right.